Hey, how's it going, guys? Jack Maddie with the Toasty Bros, and today we're doing an $1,100 2022 gaming PC.
You might have saw our $450 full PC build guide for 2022, but today we're stepping it up to a mid to higher end gaming PC featuring an awesome graphics card I know you all want to get. But before we dive into this build guide, let's hear a word from today's sponsor.
Today's video is brought to you by Black Shark and their Lucifer T1 gaming earbuds. These earbuds are ultra low latency compared to other standard wireless earbuds, and they're expertly tuned with deeper bass from that 10mm driver for a great gaming experience. You get 35 hours of playtime when using the charging case and exceptional compatibility using Bluetooth 5.2. They are also great for just listening to music and doing things other than gaming, making them an all-around great option. Forget the days of wearing a bulky gaming headset. Upgrade to some wireless gaming earbuds today by clicking the link in the description down below. And special thanks again to Black Shark for sponsoring today's video.
So for this video, we're not going to be doing a step-by-step or anything crazy like that. We're just throwing it back old school, and we're just going to kind of put the PC together, have some time-lapse, and then show you guys how it actually performs. We think we have some really good bang for the buck parts right now. You got to remember, this is late 2021, early 2022. Parts are still really hard to get, still really overpriced. So in the future, if you're watching this in 2022 and parts are back to normal, you might be looking at this build like, oh, this is a pretty bad price for $1,100, but just remember, maybe then it'll be $600 or $700.
And don't be worried if you don't know how to build a PC. The $450 build guide we released, if you follow that step by step, it will be pretty similar to this build, not too much different. This is a very straightforward, easy to put together PC. So watch that video if you want to know exactly how to build a computer in 2022. Let's just not waste any more time and talk about each individual part and how it makes up this PC build.
So for the CPU, we have the Ryzen 5, not 5600X, but 5600G, and you might be wondering, why would you do 5600G when you have a graphics card? Well, the 5600G is a 6-core 12-thread that performs almost the exact same as the 5600X. It's minus about 2 to 3% in most performing tasks, but this processor is about $70 to $80 cheaper than the 5600X, so this is kind of like a hack right now. And on top of that, you have integrated graphics, just in case you ever, have a graphics card go bad on you, or you sell your graphics card to upgrade and you're out of card, you still don't know how to use the system. With the 5600X, you can't do that, but with this processor, we can. And now we have this motherboard right here that is actually a bundle, and you're probably like, why is it a bundle? Well, Newegg, Amazon, and most of those other places, they actually bundle their cards and motherboards to keep scalpers and whatnot from buying them and reselling them, and most people don't want to have to buy the graphics card and the motherboard and have to resell it. So this is actually a really awesome board. It's a Gigabyte B550M DS3H. It's basically Gigabyte's budget series, but it's still a B550, so it's like a mid-range board, and it can still support up to Ryzen 9 technically. It has 4 RAM slots. It has actually 2 4-pins for CPU, a couple of NVMe M.2 slots, and then also some PCIe 16 lanes. So it's a really good board that honestly, like, one of our favorite budget lineups and everything, and it should work perfectly with this. There is a chance, because if you notice it says Ryzen 3rd Gen ready, there's no 5000 series sticker on it. There's a chance that the BIOS will need to be flashed. We're gonna cross our fingers that it doesn't, but if it does need to be flashed, you do have to probably have a 3rd gen or 5600X lined up ready to put into this to flash the board, so we'll let you guys know how that goes. Now for the RAM, we have this Silicon Power 16 gig kit. Now this stuff is one of the best deals right now at $59.99 as of recording this video. It is 16 gigs, it's dual channel, there's 2 sticks, it's RGB, and it's 3200 megahertz. Like, what more could you really ask for? And this stuff being the same price as like non-RGB RAM, it kind of is just no-brainer to go ahead and go RGB since we have some RGB in our case. And now for storage, we have the Western Digital Blue SN550. We've used this NVMe SSD many times, and that's one of the reasons we like it. It's an NVMe M.2, meaning it's a little bit faster than standard M.2 and standard SATA. It's small, it's compact, it fits straight into the board, there's no extra cables or anything, so we really like these NVMe SSDs.
Now for the graphics card that also came in that bundle, this is the RX 6600 XT, which is a newer card from AMD that performs very well, on par with something like an RTX 3060 from Team Green. If you want to get a good graphics card right now with 8 gigs of VRAM, great for 1080p and 1440p if you want to, this is a really good option that you can actually buy new, most of the times again in these bundles. But if you're building a whole brand new PC, you might as well get the motherboard that you're going to buy anyways in this bundle and save a lot of money instead of buying from the scalper upper market. Now for the power supply, we have the EVGA 600W3. This is a 80+ watt power supply. It's 600 watts, more than enough power to power this build and future upgrades in the future. I like that line. And we went this thing because it was on a really good discount, under $30. You can go with pretty much any EVGA power supply. They range anywhere between like 30 to 50 bucks, depending on what you're looking for. We'll leave some alternate suggestions down below if that's what you're interested in, but this is a really good deal, and this is a perfect unit that we've used many times for PC builds. And of course, we had to go with the Mustex MK7, Mustex, whatever you want to call it. This is a brand that uses a lot of pre-installed RGB fans. As you can see, we got two right here, and one in the back. So we're rocking a lot of RGB, mesh in the front, and a lot of room for upgrades in the future. It's pretty compact, has like a hinge tempered glass side panel we really like to use if I can actually do this. I shouldn't have embarked on this, but we're gonna show anyways. There you go, ooh, look at that. Hinge method with the magnets, really cool. Love to see that in PC cases. And yeah, once again, did I say RGB? There's lots of RGB. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and put this thing together. Once again, if you want a full step-by-step guide, watch our $450 one. It's very similar in terms of how to build a PC, maybe a few things that are different here and there, but you should be able to figure it out by following that guide. We're gonna go ahead and put this thing together and test it in some games.
Alright guys, now that we have this $1,100 gaming PC all booted up and ready to go, let's talk about some benchmarks real quick. Now we decided to test this PC in a couple of titles, those being Fortnite, Halo Infinite, Apex Legends, and Warzone. First up in Fortnite on performance mode at 1080p, we averaged 100 plus FPS. I did notice in Fortnite though, this was very early on in the new season when we recorded these benchmarks, we were getting some dips below 100, which is a little bit odd. Maybe it was the location I dropped, but the performance overall eventually settled out to 100 plus FPS, close to 200 most of the time, making this system great for esports titles like Fortnite, Rainbow Six Siege, Valorant, CSGO. All those games would run perfectly fine on a high refresh rate 1080p monitor, and given the price point, that's pretty impressive. Next up in Halo Infinite on medium settings at 1080p, we got 100 plus FPS once again. This is a game that you can run on higher settings to get more visual quality. That RX 6600 XT is perfect for Halo Infinite at 1080p and maybe stretching to 1440p a little bit at lower settings, but you can easily get 100 plus FPS in multiplayer, and in the campaign you'll easily rock 60 FPS on medium high settings and have a really good gaming experience. Now the next game we decided to test was Apex Legends at 1080p on a mixture of medium-high settings. We averaged 200 plus FPS. Do keep in mind the main Battle Royale mode will probably get anywhere between 120 to 140 FPS. The Arenas mode is a little bit more condensed and not as demanding from my experience, but still getting 200 plus FPS, giving the possibility of taking advantage of a 240Hz monitor at some point in the future is still pretty cool, and I really do think this has a lot of upgradability here. You can upgrade to a better GPU than the 6600 5600 XT. In my opinion, the highest I would probably go is like a 3070 or whatever future card comes out from NVIDIA or AMD that's within that 70 series or 6700 XT level. Any of those cards would probably work perfectly fine with the 5600G, but also you're on a B550 board that can easily handle something like the 5900X, which can handle pretty much any graphics card on the market right now. So yeah, something to keep in mind. Upgradability is definitely there with this PC. And the last game we decided to test was Warzone on a mixture of medium-high settings, once again at 1080p. We averaged 120 FPS. This is the first time in a while we have a repeatable PC for about $1,000. Is it as great as it used to be years ago? No, but given the current market, this is what we have, and I really do think it still makes for a good PC gaming experience with a lot of upgrade room in the future. And I still do think, once again, it's a great PC for the money. So if you want to pick any of the PC parts from today's video, links in the description down below will be affiliate links, and it will help us out. We'll leave links to multiple websites. How about we bring Jackson back in here to wrap this video up real quick?
Alright guys, so going into 2022, this PC is still up for the task. At 1100 bucks, you can play any game that you want to throw at it right now. There's not any titles out there that this just straight up won't run. Now, of course, with like the newest of newest AAA titles, you might have to lower some settings here and there because, you know, it is $1,100. You could spend $4 or $5 grand if you really wanted to max those games out, but at the same time, do you really want to spend that much?
And of course, the beauty of this thing is you can get the graphics card available on Newegg with a bundled deal and just get the motherboard for the PC build and just make it work. So if you guys want to pick up any of the parts for this video, links in the description down below will be an affiliate links and they will help us out. Now, since this is a New Year's build guide, we'll try our best to keep those links up to date. And if you have any concerns about availability, let me know down below and we'll try our best to update those for you.
And our sponsor for today, Black Shark, was nice enough to give away 3 pairs of gaming earbuds.
All you have to do is comment down below. I'll pick a couple of winners and we'll reach out to you to get the earbuds shipped to you. So special thanks again to today's sponsor, Black Shark. Pick up those gaming earbuds if you want to pick them up. And yeah, they're really nice for sponsoring this video and giving away some earbuds.
So as always, we hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, check out our other 2 YouTube channels and also our twitch.tv/toastybros. And do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
And we'll see you guys on the next one. Goodbye.
And if you don't feel like building your own PC, this PC right here and many others will be available at our PC selling business.
PCBros.tech is where we sell gaming PCs, gaming laptops, and a bunch of other fun stuff. Yeah, definitely pick up this PC from there. See you guys later. Goodbye.
Peace out.